Now, if you've ever wondered how those less fortunate come to lose everything that they have, including their homes, then the Rethink Homeless campaign in Florida has created a video that's now gone viral to help combat the negative stigmas about the homeless and to provide new perspectives on where they come from. And you won't believe some of the stories you hear. Take a look.
Homeless people across Orlando in Florida were asked to jot down facts about themselves on pieces of cardboard, and the results are both fascinating and heartbreaking. Created by the Central Florida Commission on Homelessness, this video that's now gone viral features homeless individuals sharing facts about themselves that you would never suspect. The Rethink Homelessness campaign aims to help combat negative stereotypes and help thousands find housing. The Commission states that the #1 cause of homelessness is domestic abuse, not crime or drug addiction as often suspected. Rethink Homelessness wants people to realize that the homeless are just like everyone else who has fallen upon hard times. So the next time you see a homeless person on the street, you might want to think twice before assuming the worst about those less fortunate. They are, after all, people too.
Wow, really incredible stories. I mean, imagine seeing a board of somebody who's homeless saying, I have a degree in computer engineering. Now, with me in studio is Joy Langer from the St. Anne's Home. To tell us a bit more about, what you think and what we can do to try and help the situation. Firstly, you've seen the video, Joy.
Yes, I have.
What were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were that that video could be filmed in any part of the world because it's a universal problem.
Yeah.
And homeless people, the picture that you saw there, the pictures, the stories that people are telling, it's the same all over the world.
So you've heard similar kinds of stories with the organisation that you work with and the people that you work with?
Absolutely.
What have been some of those stories?
Some of those stories have been life challenges in terms of life happening, in terms of people becoming unemployed, family structures not being able to support, and people find themselves on the street. Some of the other challenges are also domestic violence. When domestic violence happens, people find themselves on the street because it's easier to get away from it.
Because I think more often than not, we have a negative perception as to why people are on the street because we attach it to all these other stigmas, right?
And yes, absolutely. We become judgmental. We think that they know good and they want to live like that.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely not the case. Nobody wants to be on the street willfully. Yeah. It happened because of life that happened.
Yeah. Now, you work with disadvantaged women and children, right?
Yes.
How do they feel about the way that the public and society views them?
I think that what society does, society actually makes them feel worthless, and understanding that they already come from a challenged background and environment, so it just snowballs.
Yeah.
It just makes the situation worse because they are being labelled as being lazy and no good.
Yeah, and those are some of the common misperceptions that go along with it.
Yes.
So how do we then, as a public, trying to build that rainbow nation and trying to help each other out, help change that perception, how do we help them?
I think the way that we can help them, for #1, is to give responsibly. And by giving responsibly, I also speak about giving information, for example. I cannot begin to tell you how many emails we get with just people in their communities wanting to reach out, seeking for help, saying that this person is on the street, this mother and this child is on the street. Do we have a place? How can they help? And so the challenge is that there are not many shelters that take in homeless women with their children.
Yeah.
And so as a result, we become quite full. But we do try and assist in terms of referring women and children.
And so, Joy, if people want to find out a bit more about you and the St. Anne's Home, where do they find that information?
They can go onto our website, www.stanneshomes.org.za.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning and sharing some of your insights with us, and I think they're very invaluable indeed. I think we all need to take a second look and rethink homelessness and rethink our situation. We'll have a link to that video if you haven't seen it yet. We'll put it on our Facebook page as well as our Twitter page at Expresso Show. Ilana, I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's really amazing. Have you seen it?